Bring it on.
You just had your last fight. Congrats on the victory. Short notice, up a weight class. First things first, how do you feel about it?
I feel renewed, I've been going through a lot of shit and, ups and downs in my career, and it's easy to lose hope, but I've always believed that I am one of the best in the world, and I haven't finished what I've set out to do. So it's very reassuring, I guess, to get a win and be back in the win column, and it almost feels like a second chance. So I feel good. I feel renewed, like I said. So.
It was on a 2 weeks notice that you took that fight. That's obviously not a ton of time. You don't need me to tell you that. What were you able to do as far as getting ready in that time frame?
Sparring is the most important thing. So sparring and cardio and get in shape, and mental preparation, of course. But like I had like maybe 10 days to train, so I got 3 good sparring sessions, a lot of running. But I'm always in shape. I'm always training, and this sometimes is a detriment because I'm always in shape. I never stop training. I'm always pushing, and then I'll get like a 10-12 week camp, and I'll just obsessed about this guy for months and overtrain, always overtrain. So by the time I get to the fight, I'm kind of mentally, physically shot. So this is actually a good thing, and I've always been scared. About I like prefer these long camps, but I'm just at the point in the age I'm like, well, it's time to try something new, and it turned out great. So short notice is the way to go, man. It was great, and I didn't have to cut weight. I was really happy about that. So fight week was really enjoyable.
Are the weight cuts at 185 super hard for you? I mean, I know that you won the Ultimate Fighter at light heavyweight, not even weighing 200 as the official weight. I mean, how is the weight cut?
It's not that bad if I do it correctly, but like, I like to sometimes, like I've had, like, for example, my last fight in the UFC against Bruno Silva, I had a terrible weight cut because I'm like, I'm going to try and do things differently. I'm going to try and cut it all, like 10 pounds of water in an hour. Just anyway, it's different than what I normally would do, but it's stupid because what I've done in the past is fine. But I'm always trying to better myself and try new things, but sometimes that's not the right answer. So it's not that bad, but it can be. Um, yeah, I just need to do me. Sometimes like people get in your head these ideas, you hear things, want to try new things or change things, but I got to do what I know works, and if I do the weight cut how I know I should do it properly, no problem. Um, and that goes all across the board, as far as fighting and training and what I know I need to do and to prepare. And it's easy to get sucked up in the chaos of the voices and people and ideas and anxiety. So yeah.
How was the Eagle FC experience? New promotion, a lot of people are excited about it. So having your fight there, what did you think of it all?
I thought it was fucking cool, man. It was and they treat you wonderfully. It's just like the UFC, very professional, very well set up. Nice hotel, per diem. They give all the weight cut equipment you could need. The staff is very on top of things. I have no complaints, and it's cool fighting for a promoter like like Khabib runs the organization, and he is for sure looking out for the best interest of these fighters, and it's a guy that I respect. So it's kind of nice to be able to fight for somebody like that. But I only have good things to say about Eagle. I think it's the next big promotion. I think it's going to blow up. I think it's going to surpass Bellator and yeah.
Do you see yourself staying at 205 pounds, or are you going to return to 185? What would you like to do after this?
I don't care. I would do both. I would do both. It's just depending on the opportunity. 185 is fine, but 205 I've also shown to be fine. Like, you know, I won the Ultimate Fighter at that weight, and I don't have to cut weight, and so I'll do either.
Do you have any commentary on the Ultimate Fighter coming back? I know with the first episodes this season, you've been obviously getting ready for that fight, but you know, it came back last year. What do you think of it now that it's returned from that, you know, 3-year hiatus?
You know, you're gonna think I'm crazy, but I don't really watch the Ultimate Fighter. To be honest, I've watched a few seasons before I actually got on the show, but not really. So I going into it, I didn't really know what to expect. And then I guess and so they canceled it for a while, and then they're bringing it back. What's the deal with that?
Well, back in 2018, they did the season 28, and then after that, it was on the shelf until last summer, which was when they did Volkanovski and Ortega. And now this season is season 30, so it's back from that several year
Oh,
break.
huh. Well, I'm not too big on reality television. What can I say? Yeah, I don't have much of a comment on that one.
Do you have a timetable for what you want to do for your next fight? A month, maybe?
I'm trying to fight in July. I would because you know, like I didn't have to cut weight. I had like a 10-day camp. Like I'm good. I'm healthy. I didn't take any damage really. I mean, kind of beat up my leg a little bit with some leg kicks, but I was like, well, I'll just jump back in. So I just Khabib and Javier Mendez were at the gym today, and I was, you know, I told them I want to fight in July, but it's seems like it's the card's full. So that's not going to happen. But August, September, we're looking at. But I'm ready to go whenever. I'm ready to go. You know.
Do you have a type of opponent that you prefer to face stylistically, or like with the fight date, you'll just get in there whenever you can?
A type of opponent. The type of opponent that's not as good as me, or or the type of opponent that I believe that I'm better than. And I, you know, each opponent's like they have different styles, but they're all just a unique like puzzle to be solved. You know, it's like a little like chess game. You take your pieces and their pieces, and you see how they match up, and you figure out a way to kind of finagle your way to victory. So it doesn't really like maybe the guy is a wrestler, but how good is he? You know, like there's so many details. Wrestler, striker, jiu-jitsu, I don't know. I will say this, okay? Jiu-jitsu. I love fighting jiu-jitsu guys because jiu-jitsu guys typically don't have the best wrestling and takedowns, and their striking isn't. But you can't say that across the board. Look at Charles Oliveira. Like he's nasty on the feet, so you like have to, you know, like so. It's a hard question to answer.
Is there anything in training that you like to do best, like sparring or wrestling, something like that?
Well, I love to spar. That's to me the funnest and most exciting. You're mimicking a fight, and it's the most important part of training. You know, like if you could like make a hierarchy of importance, sparring is at the very top, right? And under that, maybe you know like wrestling or mitts or blah blah. But you can get away with just sparring. So like you have to spar, in my opinion, to fight, and it's also fun, and it makes anxiety. You know, like when I go to bed the night before, like I feel like I'm going into a fight the next day, and that's how you kind of have to look at it. So that's my favorite and the most important period. You know, so.
What do you think about your skills makes you dangerous, and why guys might be worried about facing you?
I mean, I'm like if you take every area of the fight game, jiu-jitsu, I was a world champion, trained with the best. Wrestling, I was a national champion, 4-time All-American in college. Like and in striking, I've that was my latest skill to develop. But now I box. I do purely boxing. I can spar and win rounds with you know elite boxers. Like I'm very well rounded. I've known this for a while, and I've always had the skills to be a champion. I could have been, you know, could be the best, and but it's the thing was the mental. It's so mental. I can't even, you know, and And if you don't have the rest of your life in order, and if you have whatever, like relationship problems, family problems, personal life issues, that stuff weighs on you, man. And also, just like confidence and like whatever, like your mind controls this machine that you put into the cage to fight. And I think that's the one area that I was lacking. I didn't really focus on it. And you could see in my fight, sometimes I would show up a world beater, and sometimes I would show up and like gas out or do something weird in the third round and get like finished. But like skill wise, physically, I don't think anybody can touch me if I'm on fighting my best fight. So now I've specifically been really like hammering the mental side. Anytime I have like a doubt or something, or a negative thought that will creep up, in my like self-talk and my subconscious, like I'll catch it, I'll be aware of it, and I will start telling myself positive things, how great I am, how whatever, I'm so fast, I'm so doesn't matter, but like I try to replace those thoughts and yeah, so I think that was the missing piece. And yeah, so I hope that answered your question. I kind of went on a rant there.
Well, how would you say that's improved your overall game?
Well, I mean, like, it's everything if you think about it. I mean, you can have the physical side. Like, there's a million guys that are great in the practice room, but it's like, who can show up on fight day and perform, right, and be relaxed and just perform how you do in the training room? And that's a really hard thing to do. I've seen so many people kind of fall apart when they're waiting to walk outside to that cage. And I've even done that before. So my God, it's and on the flip side, there's people that aren't great in the practice room, but they show up. They're gamers, and they'll show up and they'll turn it on. So it's all about like getting in that. Everybody's so good at the highest level that it's like, who can show up and turn it on that specific day, on that specific moment. And anybody can kind of beat anybody. So like really at the highest level, it comes down to mentality and being able to turn it on and get in that flow state and that relaxed state when all the lights and the cameras and the crowd and the pressure's on, so that it's invaluable.
And this is switching the subject a little bit, but I did want to ask you this. It's kind of like my question.
Yeah.
What sort of differences have you noticed? I know you fought in the regular UFC octagon and the one at the Apex. So what sort of differences in the fights were there for you in those situations?
Like without a crowd, I would just say it's less going on. It's cool, it's fun to have a crowd because it's loud and there's energy and stuff. But without a crowd, it's like you can hear your coaches, you can hear them loud and clear, which is nice. So it feels almost like a glorified sparring session. So I found it to be more like calming and relaxing, and maybe I was able to, I don't know. I feel like I liked it better personally. But then I also miss the crowd, and like there's nothing like winning a fight and then you're walking away and everybody's wants high fives and gives you hugs and pictures. It's like so much less. It's a great feeling. So they both have their, I guess, positives to them.
Last thing, do you have any of your fights up to this point that you would say is your favorite, and if so, why?
Well, definitely before the UFC and Eagle and all that stuff, when I fought for RFA, which is now LFA, but is formerly RFA. And, I once fought for the RFA title, and I was fighting Kevin Casey, and it was like this big shit talking kind of build up. And, I was like, we really didn't like each other. And I go to fight and I got like knocked out cold. It was terrible. And I was out for a long time. And, you know, like when you get knocked out like that and you're having headaches and you don't know, you know, I was scared. I was like, well, am I ever going to even fight again? You know, and, you know, I take all this time off. And anyway, I kind of got past that hurdle and I started training again. And I fought, I won, and I had another opportunity to fight for the RFA title. And this time it was in my hometown of St. Louis. And I fought a guy named John Poppy. I think it's on YouTube. And yeah, it was a bloody just massacre, you know, with all my friends and family, and it was a very like intimate arena, and yeah, and I remember I finished the guy with the spinning back fist, and then I won the RFA title, and it's stuff like that that makes fighting really worth it, you know, like it's almost like you conquer your own disbelief. Um, you know, you do like the impossible, and so yeah, so you're always like breaking down barriers in your own mind. So that was amazing. I won the RFA title, and I'm like, yes, you know, I'm gonna go to the UFC, like, you know, so that was a great feeling. And then I would say the knockout against Turman was awesome, because that was the first guy I just knocked out cold. And me and my coach were working on that specific combination for like years, and then it came to life, and it was wonderful, and I got a bonus, and like that was really cool. So I would say, yeah, those two off the top of my head. Yeah, those are the one. Yeah.
Well, that wraps up what I had for you, man. I really appreciate you being here, and this has been really a great conversation. So again, thank you so much for
Yeah, man.
being on here. I appreciate it.
My pleasure, man. Good luck to you and journalist career. Yeah.
I appreciate that very much. Be well.